I spent the whole morning, maybe 2 to 3 hours, getting all the pillars off. So the project is to change the headliner as well as all the pillars lining. As you can see, there is a lot of sagging bit, especially on the third row and the second row, so I've decided to take it all out. So getting off all the pillars straightforward. You just need to undo the seat belt. You need Torx T50 bolt for that. As you can see, I've undone all the seat belt here to get those pillars off. I haven't taken the video because I think it's pretty straightforward. I've washed all the plastic type pillars just using a normal detergent. I even took out the trim on the side. Just easy to pull it out while I'm at it. So I'll be just clean it up. So I'll be using a trim restorer to give it a bit of a shine. Okay, so I've got all those first, second and third pillars cut to the size. Well, I've got the pillars now just lined up on top of the headliner material. So I think the width I've got is 1.6 or something like that, I think it is. So those four just fit. So just make sure when you take the measurement you roll it all the way around, because the amount of material it takes is much more than just the width that's visible from here. And you can see the old headlines flapping around here, and that's the reason I'm changing the whole lot anyway. I'll recommend this Taylor. I bought it for $10 or $12 on eBay. This Taylor scissor, it's really handy, cuts really crisp. So we'll just cut. I will rip out those previous material here, try and give we've got a wire brush just to brush it off, any rough edges or leftover from the glue, and then I'll start just wrapping them around. And you just do the whole lot. Then holes like this, you need to cut another hole and then do it afterwards. But initially you just wrap the whole thing up. So one thing I noticed is this Landrover 2007 model trims have this one layer here. It doesn't have much of a foam underneath, and it attaches straight to the plastic material. It's really hard to remove the second layer. So the first one comes off easy. So this is factory sort of cut, as you can see. This comes up pretty loose over the time. I was trying to get rid of this so I can stick the new one right into the plastic material, but it's almost impossible to pull it out. So I've trialed one already, so it has stuck for a couple of months on the first pillar, A pillar if you like. So I thought I'll give it a try to do that, but looks like it's not going to work. So this is something I took the first layer off. So I took this bit off on this one for the B pillar. So I will just go and spray the glue and stick it directly on top of this. So it looks like it's very thin material as well. So I think it's almost close to getting it into the plastic material. Headline is a bit different because it's got a almost couple of mil, 3 or 4 mil of foam, which I need to get rid of using brush or whatever I can find. But the side pillars are a bit different. So I think it's just easy to get rid of that thin cloth material, and then just put a new one on top of the bottom one. So I'm using the Permatex adhesive, headline adhesive. So you've got to shake it well. Just some time, which I've done already. So obviously the surface got to be dry. Hold it 6 to 8 inches from the surface. Apply 2 to 3 overlapping coating. So I'm going to apply it like this and back around. So you've got to allow a minimum of 5 minutes drying between coats. So if I'm putting multiple coats, I need to let at least 5 minutes, but I'm just going to use one coat overlapping for this one. So I'm going to leave, I'm going to apply on the material this side, and within a minute or two I'll just wrap it around and give it a proper shape as I'm putting it. So I'm going to start from the middle bit and then push it out that way. Alright, get started. Apply some on the material itself. Alright. Sort of dries, especially in this caveats. I'm going to spray a bit more. Alrighty. Yeah, so I've given a few minutes to it. So let me just start from the top. Especially at the corner, you're going to be a bit mindful. Curls up there, so I'm just going to press it a bit. So you don't want to get it all right in the first go. So this side we can stick it, this side we can wait for the other round and stick it afterwards. Okay, so I've just completed the middle or the B pillar. So this is the first one I did. As you can see, I cut too short on the side, so there's not much to overhang on this side. Just to be mindful is when there are curves like this, you can see there's a bit of a mark there, but because I was pushing it too hard, I think what you got to do is take it easy and cut some slots in an angle to lessen the stress on the fabric. So lessons learned from this one. So on this one I managed to cut few cuts. As soon as I laid the fabric, I cut few strips or length along here to lessen the stress and slowly push it in, and it went in very nice overall. And then cut in the middle, put the glue and so forth. So overall I think it's come really good. I'm very happy with the finish. Okay, so I'm starting with the C pillar, the second last pillar on the second row. So as the other one, slowly paint it from this side. Bit of an overlap. Alright, I'll spray a bit on the thing as well. Keep it dry for a few minutes until it gets a bit tacky when you touch it. It's a bit flowy at the moment. So, yeah, just take it easy. I guess I'll just put it from this side. Start from the middle flat try and spread out very smoothly, gently. I think the trick is when it comes, I don't know if you can see like an angle here. If I push it hard, it'll get straight. So I'll cut a little slot where the bend is, and it'll lessen the stress around that area and go a bit more smaller. So I'll let it dry for a bit, but then I'll start cutting maybe a half an inch of bit around the whole area, and just put some glue around here, and then just bend it, and just bend it around and stick it there, so it's much better adhesion. Okay, so I've just finished finalizing it. So I've just finished wrapping it around. So as you can see, I've tucked in maybe a 1.5 centimeter on all areas where it's gonna cave in, and some areas where it's just gotta cut at the edge like this. I've just cut it to the edge because that's where I think there's another thing that clips on top. So I can't have much of a clothing material on this side. Other than that, yes, I'll cut the now I'll do the holes. So what I'll do, I'll just cut in the middle just like this. I'll have some maybe like a centimeter or 1.5 centimeter worth of clothing around, and I'll wrap it in. So the front pillar I did a while ago just as a trial, so it was pretty straightforward. Yeah, doesn't have too many curves. The challenge was to get this thing fitting in because this material is thicker than what it used to be. It kept plucking out. So what I've done is I've actually opened this thing again and cut more of this fabric around. Now I think it is holding itself, but I have to give it a try. But it is obviously much better than before.